In 1992, the last American warship left Subic Bay, marking the end of an era. Filipinos celebrated the departure, believing they had reclaimed their sovereignty. But little did they know that 3 decades later, the ghosts of the past would return, not in the form of American warships, but in the shadows of a rising superpower creeping into Philippine waters. Fast forward to today, Chinese ships lurk dangerously close to Philippine shores, swarming reefs and shoals that once belonged undisputedly to Manila. Fishermen tell stories of being harassed, their boats rammed by a foreign coast guard. The South China Sea is no longer just a battleground for legal disputes, it is a battlefield in waiting. And in this high-stakes geopolitical game, Subic Bay is once again emerging as the Philippines' best bet for survival. Located strategically facing the South China Sea, Subic Bay is a natural deep-water harbor, capable of hosting the largest warships and submarines. During the Cold War, it was the U.S. Navy's largest overseas base, serving as the forward operating hub for American forces countering Soviet and Chinese threats. Even after its closure, military planners never forgot its value. The Philippines is now reviving Subic Bay, enabling the return of American and Allied personnel under the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, EDCA, as China rapidly increases its military presence in the area. The harbor is a vital staging area for deterrence and quick military response because of its close proximity to possible flashpoints like Scarborough Shoal and the Spratly Islands. Subic Bay is essentially the Philippines' frontline defense in the South China Sea, where the reality of contemporary conflict collides with the echoes of the past. It is no longer merely a remnant of the past. Alfred Thayer Mahan, in his seminal work, The Influence of Sea Power Upon History, 1660 to 1783, argued that maritime supremacy dictates global influence. This principle remains relevant today. As Sir Walter Raleigh once put it, whoever controls the sea controls the trade. Whoever controls the trade controls the wealth of the world. The Philippines, with its archipelagic nature, finds itself at the heart of this reality. Subic Bay's strategic importance is not newfound. During World War II, the Japanese seized the harbor, recognizing its natural deep-water capacity and proximity to key shipping lanes. Later, the United States reclaimed it, transforming it into the largest overseas U.S. naval base, a key logistical hub during the Cold War. Subic was not just a naval outpost, it was a shield, deterring threats and ensuring stability in the region. Fast forward to the 21st century, and the Philippines faces new but familiar threats. The Permanent Court of Arbitration's 2016 ruling invalidated China's expansive claims in the South China Sea, reaffirming the Philippines' maritime rights under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS. Yet Beijing continues its aggressive expansion, constructing artificial islands and deploying Coast Guard vessels to Philippine waters. With its deep water capabilities and proximity to flashpoints like Scarborough Shoal and the Spratly Islands, Subic Bay is once again becoming a focal point of defense. The revival of U.S. military access under the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, EDCA, signals a renewed effort to counterbalance China's growing naval power. Based on historical precedents and contemporary geopolitical developments, Subic Bay is the Philippines' first line of defense against current maritime threats, rather than a relic of prior conflicts. Because of its strategic location, historical significance, and contemporary military relevance, it is an essential resource for maintaining regional stability and national sovereignty. History has shown that a nation's destiny is dictated by its dominion over the sea, and Subic Bay remains the Philippines' most powerful marine bastion. Subic Bay sits at the edge of the South China Sea, placing it at the forefront of the Philippines' maritime defense. According to the Center for Strategic and International Studies, CSIS, Asia Maritime Transparency Initiative, Maps reveal that Subic Bay provides an optimal vantage point for monitoring key shipping lanes and military movements in the Western Pacific. Subic Bay is an essential naval deterrence base because it provides direct access to contested waters, unlike Manila Bay, which faces inland. Its increasing significance in military strategy is highlighted by its closeness to Scarborough Shoal, where Chinese marine forces often threaten Philippine sovereignty. Not all harbors are created equal, and Subic Bay's natural deepwater port sets it apart. Originally developed by the U.S. Navy, it remains one of the few ports in the region capable of accommodating aircraft carriers, nuclear submarines, and large logistics vessels. According to Philippine Ports Authority (PPA) specifications, Subic's depth reaches over 15 meters, rivaling key military hubs like Singapore's Changi Naval Base and Japan's Yokosuka Base. During the Cold War, this depth made it indispensable for U.S. naval operations in the Pacific, ensuring rapid deployment of forces. Today, its natural depth and existing military infrastructure make it the Philippines' best option for hosting allied naval assets under the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, EDCA. Subic Bay serves as a logistical lifeline to critical Philippine territories, in addition to being a naval bastion. The Calayan Island Group, KIG, which includes the Spratly Islands claimed by the Philippines, is only 350 nautical miles away. Subic Bay's short distance makes it an ideal launch site for resupply flights, aviation patrols, and rapid response operations. The Philippine military's logistics charts underscore Subic's role in safeguarding supply networks to West Philippine Sea outposts like Pag-asa Island, where Filipino troops watch against Chinese encroachment. Without a robust logistical base like Subic, maintaining these remote fortifications would be significantly more difficult. Subic Bay is more than just a former U.S. naval base. It serves as a natural fortress, strategic gateway, and logistical backbone for the Philippine defense strategy. In a period of rising tensions in the South China Sea, its deep seas, strategic location, and historical military significance make it critical to defending Philippine sovereignty and combating external threats. Subic Bay's wide deep-water harbor makes it an excellent location for a modern naval facility. It was once the largest overseas U.S. Navy post, and much of its old port infrastructure remains, reducing the cost and time required for military modernization. According to the Philippine Navy's modernization plans, restoring Subic as a naval base is crucial to boosting the country's marine security. With escalating tensions in the West Philippine Sea, Subic Bay could host patrol ships, missile corvettes, and future submarines, allowing the Philippine Navy to project power closer to disputed waters and respond swiftly to maritime threats. Beyond its naval importance, Subic Bay also provides a strong air defense advantage. The Subic Bay International Airport, originally built for military use, has a runway long enough to accommodate fighter jets, surveillance aircraft, and cargo planes. The location of Subic provides redundancy and flexibility in the event of conflict, in contrast to other air bases that are susceptible to missile strikes. It could greatly strengthen the Philippines' aerial deterrence by acting as a forward air defense outpost for fighter jet squadrons, drone operations, and early warning radar systems. Subic Bay serves as a vital logistics center, in addition to being a military frontline asset. Rapid troop deployment, amphibious operations, and naval resupply missions have all been made possible by the port, which has played a key role in joint military exercises like the Balakatan drills with the United States. Beyond defense, Subic has played a crucial role in disaster relief operations. In the wake of Typhoon Haiyan, Yolanda, in 2013, Subic Bay served as a staging ground for international humanitarian aid, showcasing its strategic value for both security and crisis response. A strong military presence in Subic Bay raises the cost of aggression for any adversary. By reinforcing the base with Philippine and allied forces, the country signals its commitment to defending its sovereign waters. An analysis of forward operating bases worldwide shows that proximity to conflict zones enhances a nation's ability to project power. A fully operational Subic Bay would force potential aggressors, particularly China, to reconsider any coercive actions in the South China Sea, knowing that the Philippines has both the means and the will to defend its territory. From naval dominance to air defense, logistics, and deterrence, Subic Bay remains one of the Philippines' most valuable military assets. As regional tensions rise, a revitalized Subic would not only strengthen national security, but also reinforce the country's alliances, ensuring stability in an increasingly contested Indo-Pacific region. The Subic Bay Metropolitan Authority, SBMA, has strategically leveraged Subic Bay's dual-use infrastructure to foster both economic development and national security. Following the U.S. military's departure in the early 1990s, Subic Bay transformed into a bustling free port, attracting diverse industries and investments. In 2024, SBMA announced plans to complete significant seaport and airport projects by 2028, including the installation of shore power connections for ships and the development of an automated truck holding facility. These initiatives aim to enhance operational efficiency and position Subic Bay as a premier logistics hub in the region. In February 2025, the enactment of the Corporate Recovery and Tax Incentives for Enterprises Create More Act is anticipated to further stimulate business activities within the Subic Bay Freeport Zone. SBMA Chairman and Administrator Eduardo Jose Alino highlighted that this legislation is expected to attract more investments and generate employment opportunities, thereby bolstering the local economy.
That it is because of you, other than us, that made the grain terminal for what it is right now. Tayo po ang gumawa niyan. This is owned actually by SBMA. Nasa land ng SBMA. Most of the profit that was generated there, nandun po yan sa terminal na yon. Kaya, I'm truly grateful for all the help that you have extended to the company.
The development of military and dual-use facilities in Subic Bay has historically been a significant driver of employment and economic growth. The SBMA's ongoing infrastructure projects are projected to create numerous jobs in construction, logistics, and ancillary services. For instance, the planned 100 million peso state-of-the-art truck holding area, set for completion by 2028, is expected to enhance cargo handling efficiency and provide amenities for truck drivers and clients, thereby supporting the local economy. The SBMA's commitment to sustaining good governance and economic growth is evident in its 2025 budget, which allocates funds for gender and development programs as well as environmental and quality management systems. These initiatives not only aim to improve operational standards, but also to create a more inclusive and sustainable economic environment in the Subic Bay area. The strategic development of Subic Bay aligns with the Philippines' national security strategy objectives. In December 2024, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. approved the NSS 2024, which emphasizes the importance of investing in critical infrastructure to enhance national defense and economic resilience. Key priorities include leveraging technology, strengthening governance, and protecting vital industries to support economic growth and uphold the nation's sovereignty. Advancing infrastructure projects and fostering economic development in Subic Bay, the SBMA contributes to these national goals, ensuring that the region serves as both a robust economic engine and a strategic defense asset. This dual-purpose approach not only enhances the Philippines' security posture, but also promotes sustainable development and prosperity for its citizens. In 2025, the Philippines allocated a record 50 billion Philippine pesos to the Armed Forces of the Philippines, AFP modernization program, part of a broader 419.3 billion Philippine pesos defense budget. This significant investment aims to enhance national defense capabilities amid ongoing tensions in the West Philippine Sea. Achieving this balance requires strategic planning to ensure that bolstering defense does not compromise essential public services. The Philippines' efforts to strengthen its military presence, particularly in areas like Subic Bay, must navigate complex geopolitical dynamics. The Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, consistently advocates for peaceful resolutions to disputes in the South China Sea. Increased military activities in the region can elicit varied reactions from neighboring countries, potentially escalating tensions. For instance, recent joint exercises between the Philippines and external powers have drawn criticism from China, underscoring the delicate balance required in regional diplomacy. Military operations and infrastructure development can have significant environmental consequences. Environmental impact assessments of military activities highlight concerns such as habitat disruption, pollution, and resource depletion. The International Institute for Strategic Studies emphasizes that sustainable security must include environmental considerations. Integrating eco-friendly practices into defense initiatives is essential to preserve the Philippines' rich biodiversity while maintaining robust security measures. The presence of foreign military forces on Philippine soil raises questions about national sovereignty. The Philippine Constitution mandates full control over its strategic assets, even when engaging in defense partnerships. Professor Herman Kraft of the University of the Philippines Diliman asserts, the Philippines must maintain full control of their own strategic assets. Ensuring that collaborations with allies do not infringe upon sovereignty is crucial, necessitating clear agreements that define the extent and limitations of foreign military involvement. Subic Bay, which combines rich historical value with contemporary military and economic potential, is a key component of the Philippines' strategic defense. Its transformation from a vital World War II outpost to a cutting-edge, multi-purpose complex highlights its enduring significance for both economic recovery and national defense. Defense think tanks predict that in the face of a fast-shifting geopolitical environment, a modernized Subic Bay will be essential to boosting regional security and stability. With mounting problems in the West Philippine Sea and renewed emphasis on alliance collaboration under accords like the EDCA, the Bay is set to serve not just as a solid military base, but also as a catalyst for sustainable economic growth and technical improvement. The Philippines must make a commitment to focused modernization initiatives, long-term infrastructure investments, and closer multilateral cooperation if it is to optimize its strategic worth. The nation can guarantee that Subic Bay continues to be a strong asset, a bulwark of sovereignty, a ray of hope for regional stability, and a link between military resilience and economic growth by balancing security priorities with national development objectives. Thank you for tuning into our channel. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth analysis of global issues.